Hi folks, it's Andy. I hope you're having a fantastic day. Welcome to another episode of Kendo Video Feedback. Okay, so here we are. We've got some videos to look at. This series is basically a series of videos where I have a look at some videos that some of you wonderful channel viewers have sent to me and offer you some feedback, hopefully for everybody's benefit. Before we jump in, before I get to the plugs, I say this every time. I don't want any silly comments in the comments down there. If you think you can do better than these people who've been brave enough to send the videos in, send us a video and we'll be the judge of that, okay? So I'll just delete any sort of silly comments and stuff. Before we get to the videos though, don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and most importantly, shop at KendoStar. That's what supports the channel. KendoStar being the best kendo equipment website in the entire galaxy. Now, of course, I would say that as I own the place, but let's be honest, it's true. And everyone agrees. You can check our Trustpilot rating. We're one of the best rated e-commerce sites on the entire internet, and that's not just kendo shops. Like every shop, we're rated better than most of them. So yeah, shop at KendoStar. Right, we've got 3 submissions to go through today. All right, so this might be a slightly long video. Hopefully my voice can hold up. It's very cold, but should be fine. So let's get right into this. Let's get to the first one. So the first one comes with a message. It says, "Hello Andy, thank you for everything you do for Kendo." No, thank you. Your channel's helped me a lot. Good. Here are the submissions from a recent competition I was in. Unfortunately, I lost both the matches, but I was satisfied with my performance. Good. That's what's most important. As far as I'm aware, my opponents are a lot more experienced than me. Even holding out as long as I did against both of them was a win in my book. Yeah, fair. I'm sorry for the grainy footage. Next time I'll send something pretty to look at. I'm sure it's fine. After the tournament, the grading's happening. I passed my Shodan exam in Jordan on towards Nidan. Excellent. PS, love the collab with Kendo Tips. Would watch more of them in the future. Oh, good. Yeah, that's from a live stream that I did with Jose from Kendo Tips a few weeks ago now. It was really fun. Like we just chatted Kendo, ranted about Kendo for like 5 hours. I think it's still up there on his channel over at Kendo Tips. And I think he's started putting some clips of it out on his channel too, so you can catch some of the highlights from that as well. So go and check out Kendo Tips. Right, okay, let's get into the video. Okay, so let's take a look at this footage, shall we? So you're in Jordan, so I guess you're on the left. I think in this first one you're against someone in Nito, so this is going to be fun. Right, let's have a look. Okay, so first thing I can tell you right away, I am not an expert on Jordan. I'm not an expert on Chudan, frankly, but let's have a look at this kamae, okay? Your kamae is far too, you know, the principles are the same in Jordan and Chudan, frankly. They're not all that different. I'm not an experienced Jordan player. I've done it a little bit when I was injured, and I did fine. Because essentially, you know, most of the concepts are similar, but your upper body is sort of, your weight's a little bit too far forward. There's not enough weight on your left leg. Yeah, your left leg is not carrying your kamae. So I can tell already before you've made a strike. Now you might prove me wrong in a second, and if you do, I'll be very, very, very impressed. But I can see what is likely to happen is when you strike your katate waza, you're going to be leaning into it from your upper body, all right? I'd like you to put your shoulders back. You shouldn't be leaning forward in your kamae, all right? The best Jordan players in the world, they don't have this sort of leaning forward kamae and then this sort of falling forward katate waza. They've got powerful Asabaki that drives forward from the left leg. All right, so let's have a look. Not too bad, to be fair. But it's not like it's not so super explosive because your datota is not coming from your lower body. It's coming from your upper body. So it's predictable. Your opponents can see it coming. Now it's particularly hard because you're against somebody doing Nito, and it can be hard to deal with Nito if you don't have the experience of doing so. So I understand that. But you see how after the strike here, I'm not quite sure why, but you've made a strike with your right leg has pushed you forward. I think I've been saying left leg because I'm so used to saying it, but what I mean is the back leg. Up to now, when I'm talking about launching, we've launched from this sort of right leg, sort of. You see how your toes are like totally pointing to the right, and you're sort of entirely side on. Now Jordan can be this sort of slightly hanmi kamae, so slightly diagonal with your hips rather than straight on like you would with Chudan. Though lots of Jordan players don't do that with the shinai. But then after that, you just sort of step through to kind of, your asabaki is not quite there. Do you see what I mean? You kind of hit and then just walk forward. And then there's this kind of awkward control of your weight distribution. So I want you to sharpen up that asabaki, all right? Proper fumikomi, proper suriashi, all right? Not just hit and walk, okay? And you'll find the quality of your datota changes when you do that. I won't dwell too long on this yet because we've got a lot of videos, but yeah. So because we're not launching properly from our back leg, our right leg here, fumikomi's not quite there. Okay. It's difficult to deal with Nito, it is. Especially from Jordan. I think you're doing a pretty decent job, to be honest. But like I said, I think the main thing I've got here, first off, is these issues with your kamae and your asabaki. Second, I think your hands are a bit too low. Like, if you were against now, you're against Nito player. I don't know their ability, whatever. But I'm telling you now, if you stood in front of me with that Jordan, that kote there is not gonna last long. That is not gonna last long because I can get to it when it's there. I can get to it before you've got time to move it. All right, definitely. I don't want it up here though. Yeah, where it is right now is just a little bit too narrow. It just needs to come up like an inch or two. I don't think either. I think you're probably a little bit too relaxed in your. That is such an odd thing to say to someone in Kendo. But what I mean is with your grip on the shinai. I don't think this needs to be relaxed, the right hand, but I think this part here needs that little bit of tension here, and I think there's not quite enough there, and it's lacking there, and it's lacking in your right leg, which is the one that's going to drive you to do the fumikomi, so that when you need to strike, bam, you don't have that sort of explosive ability to strike. Do you know what I mean? It's a little bit sluggish. See what I mean? It's interesting though. It's interesting to see the Nito player trying to deal with Jordan as well. Nito players often rely on interacting with the shinai, so when you do Jordan, obviously that takes that away. So that's why he's struggling to find a chance on you, which is a good thing. But yeah, I mean, I think the main thing I'm going to say about this Shiai so far is you need to just work on this asabaki, this footwork, yeah, and the kamae, all right? So here's where you took your point, because the problem is here is you sort of try to defend yourself. It's a good kote, isn't it? Yeah, you try to defend yourself, but your feet are sort of planted. So because you haven't got mobile ashisabaki, you just kind of tried to do this. Problem is when you do that, lots of Jordan players do this. Like this, trying to get the kote out of the way, but like what you're doing is you're exposing your men instead. So, you know, you need to use your footwork to defend yourself, not just your hands. Same as Chudan. Okay. So, like I say, this is. I don't think this is a good movement that you're making. This sort of rocking back and forward from your front foot to your back foot, your front foot to your back foot. I think that's something you want to kind of train out of yourself. You need to be tense on your back leg, ready to launch. You know what I mean? You need to be like cocked and ready to go, like at all times on that right leg, sorry. In Chudan it'd be left leg. But you going kind of 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, you can't be. I hope that makes sense. Okay, I missed the point there, but I think I said most of the important stuff there. Right, let's have a look at your next match. Okay, Jordan versus Jordan. Okay, so this is a pretty odd Shiai that we're watching. But okay, it's kind of fun. So I'm thinking you're the one on the left, yeah. Okay, so we've got this same issue with this ashisabaki. Yeah? Not really a fumikomi there. Yeah, so your opponent there was able to instantly counterattack against you because he has got more tame, I should say. But what I mean by that is he's got more preparedness in his left hand gripping the shinai. Pam, yeah? Evade, pam. Yeah, straight away, you know? Evade, strike. Evade, strike. Whereas you're not quite there yet. You don't have this preparedness here. So you evade. Then you have to switch this on to be able to strike again. It's like a moment slower. Okay, so that's where you've gone out of the court, so you need to be careful of that. So yeah, I mean the same issue is evident from the way that you're maneuvering yourself around the Shiaijo. This kind of, you see this rhythm of the way you move, sort of front back. That, you know, your lower body needs to be a stable platform that's transporting you around the Shiaijo, ready to bam launch at any second. At the moment, that's not where you're at. All right, so it's definitely a lot about footwork here. You see how, like, when something doesn't quite go to plan, everything sort of falls over. I know you tripped a bit over his leg there, but because you're not able to properly manage your weight distribution because your ashisabaki is not backing up the rest of your kendo yet. Here's an interesting bit. See how you've gone kind of this way. It's a lots of like Jordan people do this one. Where this way, it's not this way. It's bam this way forward. Same as Chudan. You don't want to go this. It's bam. Yeah. Jordan isn't this way. It wants to be bam this way. Yeah. And you see how slowly your feet are coming up behind you. Yeah. Again, that right leg comes in front. Yeah. This is where you're going to struggle. If you fix this stuff, your nidan's not going to be a problem, and you're going to start to see much more success. Your datotu, your strikes are going to get faster and more effective. Yeah. But because of the minute, because it's kind of all disjointed, your footwork's not backing you up, your kamae is a little bit too much, you know, a little bit disjointed, your seme is having no effect whatsoever on your partner, none whatsoever. You see how they're just closing you down, Because he's, you know, feeling that, yeah, probably I'm not at a high risk of losing Ippon here. He's going to make you step out again, isn't he? Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's a tough one, all right? But... I'm not quite sure what happened there. I mean, unless something I don't understand happened, from my understanding of the rules, that was Jogai for you, so you should have lost the match here. But I don't know. I don't know the inside story of that. But it's the same thing happening, right? See how your semi has got no effect on your opponent whatsoever because your waza is just not cohesive in terms of your kentai no ichi, all right? And it's because you need to sharpen up that footwork, all right? I know I've phrased that quite firmly. I don't, you know, don't take it too hard. But, you know, there is no fear here that he's going to lose Ippon. Yeah. So you need to present that credible threat to him that, you know, that I can make the Ippon. But because your footwork, your Fumikomi is sort of gone out the window now, it's not there. So he's, you know, totally controlling over the Shiaijo. This was not a bad not a bad opportunity. This is quite a good one. I think it was defended, but like it was a good time to strike, but you attacked the men instead of Kote. If you'd attacked Kote, probably you'd have been able to get the Kote Ippon. But again, because this, you know, this stepping through the leg here, can you see what I'm talking about here? That you don't want to be doing that. After this right leg needs to do the hikitsuke, same as with Chudan, and then push you forward again. But you're not doing that. You're just stepping forward and then the whole thing stops. You know what I mean? And that was a good opportunity as well. But again, because our footwork is not quite backing us up, we're lacking the kentai no ichi. Okay? Okay. Okay. I mean, I really think if you fix these things I'm talking about, if you can get your footwork sorted out a little bit better, so that you actually, you know, your strikes are, yeah, you're gonna go out again. Here's an interesting thing, right? Yeah, so use this. You need to use. This is not just for Jordan or just for you. You need to use the location of this cross. All right, you need to use that as a point of reference in your shiai. That's anyone who's in the shiai, yeah, as to where you are in relation to the edge of the court. Everybody, you know, it's as much as possible. You have to try to avoid stepping out of the court. I've done it, so I'm not perfect. Don't get me wrong. Everyone does it at some point, right? But as much as possible, you have to try to avoid stepping out of the court. So you need to use this X as a point of reference. For spatial awareness and without looking. Yeah, so you have to have a sense of how big the shiaijo is. And then when you feel yourself at the edge here, now you didn't go out, okay, you didn't go out because you have to put your foot wholly out of the court. But the way to turn here is what you want to do is you want to bring your lower body in a bit more and you want to get closer to him as you turn. That's what you want to do. Bring your weight closer in, lower body in as you turn, and it'll be much less awkward than this and much more fluid. Yeah. If we watch it again. Because he sort of ended this way and he was still in front of you. Well, you want to kind of stick to him as you go around. That was a kind of dangerous point. You're gonna go out. Okay, so yeah. So you gotta be careful of that edge of the shiaijo as well. All right. So yeah, let's summarize that. Basically, as I said, you need to sharpen up your footwork. Make sure that you're using your right leg properly. Have proper tame. Make sure that you're able to launch strikes from it, and that you're not just walking around the shiaijo. Have your kamae fixed so that it's straight, not leaning forward, and you don't want to be doing this forward back stepping stuff. All right, so that you can make strikes that have got proper kentai no ichi. They'll be sharp, they'll be fast, they'll be brilliant, and then that's going to affect your opponent and make your semi effective. All right, because at the minute it's not quite there with it. All right, if you do that, you'll definitely see an improvement. Definitely. Okay, right, let's move to the next video. Okay, next one. The next one says, have a look. Next one says, Davefish Sense, I hope you and your family are well. Yep, thank you very much. I'd like to submit the following clip for Kendo feedback. I've been practicing since August of last year, and this November I completed our national Q level championship and won. Fantastic, that is excellent. But in review matches, I noticed that my footwork and strikes still need a lot of work. I'm San Q at the moment, so that's third Q. And we'll take the Q exam somewhere in March. I'm worried that I might be rushing my progress. The clip is the final of the championships and I'm in white. Thank you in advance and all the best. Great. Okay, so let's have a look. So this is the final of the Q grade championships, and you're the white player. So let's have a look. This is quite a long video, so don't be surprised if I skip over some of it because we've got a lot to get onto today. So on the left side, okay. All right, let's have a look. Let's have a look. Right, first off, first piece of advice. Right, Sonkyo, all right? Sonkyo. Let's get the Sonkyo right. Makes a big difference, you know. Head needs to be over your hips, not in front, okay? Needs to be over your hips. Over your hips, not in front like it is right now, okay? Then, when you step up from the Sonkyo, don't step backwards. All right, you don't want to step up and step backwards. Step forwards. Now, your opponents come flying in at you, which is fine, I get it. But the way to deal with that is not to give them space to hit you. Okay? Very good, very good. But yes, I see what you mean. You do need to sharpen up that fumikomi. All right? You definitely need to sharpen up that fumikomi. This is very similar to what we talked about in the last video with the person doing Jordan, except this time it's your left foot, not your right foot, because it's the one that's behind. You need to have more preparedness in that left foot, ready to strike. You're sort of walking around the shiaijo a little bit, all right? Nice chance forward, Joza. Yeah, you see this sort of walking action. Dun, 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 dun. Like, you can't make a strike here. If you tried to make a strike here, your fumikomi is going so far out the window, it's like down the street. You know, you don't want to, you need to, your left foot needs to be switched on the whole time. The whole time. So even when you're making small steps, you don't want to be like, ah, okay, yeah? Always moving around, switched on, ready to go. Yeah, but because you're not, you see, when actually the other person starts to attack you, the only thing you can do in response to that is try to defend. And luckily, this is a Q grade championships. This is an open championship. Someone's going to take that kote straight off. Okay, so just be careful. Got this S-shaped kamae we've talked about. Yeah, I want your head over your hips and your shoulder blades back. All right, your shoulders are a bit too far forward. Shoulder blades back. Nice straight posture, so it's like an A shape. Yeah, like an A shape. This line here should almost be straight from your head, shoulders, hips, and right foot. Should almost be straight. And then you should be able to draw like a slight diagonal to your left foot. But that isn't what's going on here. It's like an S shape like that. You see what I mean? All right? That's affecting your ability to do good fumikomi. So, one more thing here. This is something that comes up a lot. I'm going to forgive you because this is a Q grade championships. But what I don't like to see is, you see people who are like Dan grades, and I'm not talking like Shodan, I'm talking like Yondan Godan. That do this too, right? Here's what I mean. Right, this strike has not made contact with your opponent. You need to be aware of that, right? You need to have the awareness to realise when your strike is ippon or likely to be ippon and when it isn't, all right? This is nowhere near, okay? It doesn't look like it was close. It wasn't a particularly amazing opportunity. Person clearly blocked it. So, you know, you don't need to kind of try and sell it, yeah? You know, oh, missed, okay, yeah? Not, man, even though, you know, it was nowhere near, yeah? I'm not throwing this criticism, well, I am throwing it at you, but it's your example. But I get it because it's what a lot of people do. But I want you to stop it now so that it doesn't become a problem later. Because what this does, this shows the Shimpan, frankly, I don't know the difference between when I hit and when I don't. Okay? Yeah? There's an argument to say sometimes you want to sell points to try and encourage the Shimpan to award them. Yeah? But you have to do that. You can do that. But if you have to do it with the ones that are nearly Ippon or are like, you know, like convincing, like if you just try and sell every point that you try and throw out there, it just looks like you don't know the difference. Like you can't tell the difference between when you hit and when you don't. It's a problem. Yeah. So don't, you know, I'm not, when I'm saying don't do it, what I want you to do is I want you to make, the first step is realizing if your strike was ippon or not, or was likely to be ippon or made contact or not. Yeah. That awareness is really important, because what you've done instead is, as I say, you're lucky because this a Q grade. It's not lucky, but this, you know, this happens to be a Q grade tournament. It's the open tournament against somebody that's a little bit better. They're gonna take some hikiwaza off you here because you stood there presenting an opportunity to what everybody knows wasn't an ippon, right? See this footwork I'm talking about? Needs sharpening up. Needs sharpening up. You're controlling the Shiaijo very well, though. Very, very well. All right, see, so great. Managed to maneuver him out of the court, which is good. Very good. So again, this is the same thing as what I just said, right? So this isn't really nearly ippon at all. So, you know, don't get into overselling it. Same. So, see, this is super dangerous here. You know, I'm not sure from your point of view that felt like it was ippon, but it was nothing like it. Yeah, it was nowhere near. Sorry to say that quite harshly, but I mean, it looks to me like he's defending it, or that you missed the target, even though the target's open. But you know, if you watch this video, you can see that that's not really close to being ippon. So then you take your eyes totally off him. Very, very dangerous. All right. Okay, good. Watch that again. So yeah, you need to sort out this Fumikomi, right? Let's watch. Just watch your feet here. Just watch your feet here. Just watch the feet. Okay. So this isn't really Fumikomi because you didn't go anywhere. You can do the Humikomi on the spot, but you don't need to bring the foot up and down like that. You know, bam, is what you would do if you was going to do it on the spot. And your foot didn't. You see how your foot hasn't landed flat on the floor, so it's not really Humikomi either. And then this next one is sort of a similar thing. Do you know what I mean? So that's where you know, that Humikomi definitely needs sharpening up. Definitely. All right. I don't think you'll struggle with getting EQ, and I don't think that you're rushing through it. I think you should go for it as soon as you can. But to get towards Shodan, I'd like to see a better quality Fumikomi. Okay, good. So again, it's the same thing I said before. Yeah, just that awareness. Yeah, you will know when the strike is ippon or nearly ippon or not. Now, I get it. This is a Q grade championship, so you haven't accumulated the experience necessarily to fully know that. So I'm giving you a pass on this. But anyone else who's watching this who's like Nidan or above, you shouldn't be doing that. So this, again, just the way we're moving around the Shiaijo here, this sort of walking. You need to be doing proper Ashisabaki, all right? Proper Ashisabaki. So again, same thing with this kote. It's this stamp. It was all right, actually, looking back at it, but I think you do need to improve the quality of your Fumikomi. It's more from the way you're pushing. Oh, that was fantastic. The way you're pushing from the left leg rather than the way you're stamping with the right, okay? Let's watch that again. So that was excellent. Excellent strike. But I tell you what, I think you know what I'm going to say. You know what I'm going to say? Like, where are you looking? There's nobody over here. Nobody over here, okay? Right? So, as much as possible, it's not super egregious. It's not super egregious. But there is a habit forming here of that sort of total break of eye contact, right? It's totally forgivable in a Q grade tournament, but I'd like you to think about keeping your awareness towards your partner. It's not that bad. It's not that bad, especially when you watch it in full speed. But I'm not going to let it go. What a fantastic ippon. Fantastic ippon. See how you knew the difference between when you made contact with the strike? You knew the difference between that and the ones earlier that you'd also tried to sell. They felt different, right? That's the point I'm trying to make. See, like this, like, obviously, clearly not ippon, all right? So this overselling, not required. Does not help your cause, right? If you had better Ashisabaki, you had a chance for Hikimen here. All right, you could hit Hikimen or Higote, even Hikido, and probably get a good ippon here, yeah? But because you're just walking around the Shiaijo, not using the proper Ashisabaki, you're not able to do. All right, so that's a point to take away. That was nice try. I think you need to be careful. You have a habit when you defend of just raising your hands up. All right? I'm sure we'll see it again. I don't necessarily mean like just like this one now. But it is a bit like that. I mean, like I say, if this is an open category, probably you're going to lose kote. That's good, men. Good chance for men. But again, you see how this kind of... You know, there's a sort of break in the intention towards the opponent. A little bit. It's not that bad. I've seen a lot worse. A lot worse. So this sort of thing is dangerous, yeah? Stepping back, raising your hands. Someone at higher level is going to punish you for that. There's a good chance as well. This is a good chance. I want you to start recognizing the difference between these ones that are close, like near misses, and the ones that are like nowhere near. Good. But the problem is you didn't have a Fumikomi, right? So it's like, because look at the state of your feet. The state of your feet is like that. Yeah. So then you try to make a strike, and it's a good strike, but it's Kentai Fuichi, so not Kentai Ichi. Okay, Kentai no Ichi is not good enough. Yeah. All comes back to that footwork. That's what I'm talking about. This blocking here, just with the hands here. Yeah. This is your opponent is a Q grade. Yeah. Dan grade's gonna just. They're not going to swing the shinai in the straight way. You're going to do that. The first time you do that, they'll be like, okay. And then next time they're going to go, okay. And they'll just change the angle of their shinai by 45 degrees and they'll put it straight on your kote. Okay. Very kind of you to let him get away with that. Yeah, this is so. Again, here's another thing, right? You've come to this sort of chukan distance, yeah, this sort of intermediate distance, and sort of both of you sort of aren't really sure what to do. And again, because your footwork isn't properly locked in, you're not able to just instantly make a hikiwaza, which is a great chance for hikiwaza. Oh, that's a good one. Really good one. Really good one. Yeah, so you see, you can do the good strikes with good Fumikomi, but you're not doing it all the time, all right? So, Ikku, no problem. No problem at all. I encourage you to go for it. I don't think you're going through it too quickly or any of that sort of thing. I think you should go for it, all right? You should do it. For Shodan, I want to see you sharpen up that Ashisabaki a little bit more, especially the left foot. And your kamae, okay? So it's not this kind of S-shape kamae, but a triangular A-shape kamae, okay? I hope that makes sense. All right, but well done. Fantastic job on winning that tournament. Great stuff. Right, last one. Let's look at the last one. Okay, so here we are with the last one, last submission. This is a bit of a different one. This is a grading. We're jumping up in level a little bit as well. This is a grading for 4th Dan, okay? Our applicant is on the right-hand side. And all I've got about this really is that it is their second attempt at the exam and they were unsuccessful. So this is asking for feedback into how they could be successful next time. So let's have a look at the first jitsugi. We are on the right hand side. Let's have a look at that one more time. A bit distracted by this leaf that's blowing in the dojo there. Okay. So here. So again, this is an issue of tame. All right, there's a pattern today. Right, it's an issue of tame, in that you've stepped into the cutting distance and you're not ready to go. You're not ready to hit. Because when your opponents come to hit you, you've kind of gone, okay, I'll hit as well, but you're not ready. So, of course, you're too late. Now, actually, you make a better strike than they do, but from a point of view of what we're looking at in Yondan and up is the use of sen, or the way that we kind of interact with the opponent. And the problem is this strike is entirely initiated by your partner, right? So whether it was successful or not is kind of not the point. No, it sounds a bit weird. Right. I want you to fix your kamae a little bit. Your arms are too tense. You're stretched out like this. All right? Relax. And watch this bit again. I think there's Kentai no Ichi problem here. We have the same thing that happened before. Your opponent initiates a strike and you attack in response. Entirely in response, all right? So they're hitting kote. It's not perfectly on target, but this is really their kote rather than your men. Yeah. Well, I take back the comment on the Kentai no Ichi. It's not too bad. Yeah, it's not too bad, but you're lacking Zanshin though. Like your intention and concentration entirely away from your opponent here, entirely away. I'm not going to comment on anything to do with your opponent. I'm just commenting on you. So I don't know the result of your opponent's Shinsa. So here, this is a bit better, right? This is a bit better because you actually initiated this because you start to apply the semi and then they start to step into attack, right? And this is a good one. This is a good one. Yeah, this is your men. Fantastic men. Fantastic men. But again, sort of spoiled with rubbish Zanshin. Yeah? It's kind of like... You see this? Why you shouldn't have your backs to each other, right? You shouldn't have your backs to each other. This is Yondan, yeah? It has to be more aware. Your focus has to stay towards the other person all throughout the Shinsa. And what's happening is like hit, cut, start again, yeah, start again. Do you see what I mean? Like there's the connection's broken all too often, all right? So this is a perfectly fine kote strike. But you see how it's broken? Kote! Yeah. Yeah? Each waza has to connect to the next one in your grading, yeah? You can't just be like... Well, it's not in your grading, to be honest, but... This is quite a good kaisi, though. But... I want to see a bit more semi from it, you know what I mean? Like, this is... mainly their waza, and you were kind of like, right, probably they're going to cut. It's like a gamble. Like it was a safe bet, to be fair. Safe bet. But probably they're going to cut men, so you're going to do the kaisido. So you just waited for them to come for you. No, okay. See, same thing again. Man, Zanshin better this time. At least you kept them there. And then start again. Yeah? This is one of the things that I'd like to see removed. Okay, so this Ashisabaki, Taisabaki after hitting kote, reasonable, okay attempt at kote, and then this kind of like sluggish after movement, yeah? Like your waza in general has this kind of feeling of like having a peak at the point of impact. So you're like, yeah, man, and then it peaks down again. Do you see what I mean? When it wants to be like, man, and that, man, it stops, but you're still connected. Your focus, your energy, concentration is still towards your opponent. And this way of approaching as well, this isn't Suriashi. This isn't Suriashi. Yeah, it's just walking, stepping. It's not walking, but it's stepping. Yeah, and it's slow. Left foot is slow. It's a good man. Good man, bad Zanshin. Yeah. Once again, we have our backs to each other. Okay, we have our backs to each other. Too long. See, it's the same thing, yeah? Here again, you make this strike and then your intention is over towards this red chair over here rather than towards your opponent. You see how, you know, There's that the break between the two is too long. Case in point, you had a great chance at Kote here. I think it's a pretty good strike from the look of it. Decent semi and all that. Yeah, decent Kote strike. What a good Kote strike. And then you got your backs to each other again. You spent half this grading facing away from your partner. So that's where I think that's why I think you've sort of fallen away a bit. I think the issue here is Zanshin. For me anyway. That's the first one. Let me have a look at the second one. Okay, still on the right side. That is what it is. So far, I'd say this is a better grading so far, better Shinsa so far. But look at this, how you're doing that sort of rocking forward and back thing. So there's no tame at all, right? Tame being prepared to strike immediately. Like, you kind of like, okay, are we ready to go yet? Sort of thing. Well, you need to be like a coiled spring, ready to go at any moment. That's not coming across, you see what I mean? And your strikes are good. The strikes are good. This is more like it. All right? Nice. Knee down waza, good. So, here, problem is, right? Again, it's a Zanshin issue. It's better than before because you're not like running off with your back to them. But you kind of finish this waza and then... Okay, start again. I'd have taken an extra step backwards after that, giving myself an extra bit of room. See how you kind of stopped here? You kind of stopped and then you started going backwards. It needs to be smoother, that, for a start. And then I'd have taken an extra step and faster. All right, it's too slow. But the whole thing cuts and you start again. Good Kote strike, I think. There's a bit of an issue, a Kikentai issue on this one. It's a great strike. It's a great strike, but it's got this kind of Kote, instead of kind of like bam, Kote. Yeah. Is yours. What I want it to be more is like bam. Yeah. But I mean, that's really nitpicky. That isn't why you failed this grading, by the way. I think the issue is with the there we go, back to back. Yeah, I think it's this kind of Zanshin you need to kind of try and cut out. You can get away with it once, twice, but like it's pretty prevalent in this grading. And that lack of tame in your left leg, do you know what I mean? That lack of, these strikes all appear to be reasonably random. Yeah? Yeah. I think, if I'm honest with you, I think it's a close fail. I think you nearly passed. I'm sure you did. So I encourage you to keep trying, because I think you're very, very close. Very close. But I want you to work on that Zanshin, because what you're doing at the minute is not Zanshin. It's just running across the Shiaijo. And also work on that tame, so making sure that your footwork is sorted, your kamae is a kamae, and you're ready to strike at any point, and you're not just kind of walking around, okay? I think you're super close to it, I really do. If you'd sent me this video and said it was a pass, I wouldn't have been like, wow, that's weird. No, I wouldn't have been like that at all. I'd I'd have accepted it and thought it was normal. So I think you are sort of really borderline. You're very, very close to passing, I'm sure of it. So I would definitely encourage you to keep trying. Do try again as soon as you can, and keep up the good work. Just think about these points that I've made today. I definitely think they'll help you. Okay, thank you for sending the video, everybody. Everybody who sent the video today, thank you very much. I hope it was useful for you that sent the videos, and also for anyone else that was watching. If you'd like to submit a video, the best way to do it is to upload it to upload the video to YouTube and set it to unlisted, and then share the link with me, by email, which is mail@KendoStar.com, and I will definitely make a video for you. Okay, thank you for joining me. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, shop at KendoStar, and see you next time. Bye-bye.